Hello everyone, Kit here, back with another video. Today for you guys I'm back with part 3 of the 613 laws of Yahweh. I'll leave links down in the description box below, along for email. You can email us at themosaic@gmail.com for private consultation. Without further ado, let me get right into it. Number 110. Those unclean of a spreading skin disease must follow the specified purification procedure. Leviticus 14/2. This shall be the law for the leprous or deceased person for the day of his cleansing, when he shall be brought to the priest. Number 111. Those unclean of a spreading skin disease must shave off all of their hair. Leviticus 14/9. On the seventh day he must shave off all of his hair. He must shave his head, his beard, his eyebrows, and the rest of his hair. He must wash his clothes and bathe himself with water, and then he will be clean. Number 112. Those unclean of a spreading skin disease must be easily distinguishable. Leviticus 13/45. The person with such an infectious disease must wear torn clothes, uncover his head, cover the lower part of his face, and cry out, "Unclean, unclean." 113. The ashes of the red heifer are to be used in purification. Numbers 19/2. This is a statute of the law Yahweh has commanded, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, and tell them to bring your red heifer, without blemish or defect, and that has never been under a yoke, never having been used for secular purposes. Then a man who is clean shall gather up the ashes of the red heifer and put them in a clean place outside the camp. They shall be kept by them for the congregation of the children of Israel, for the water for purification from impurity. It is for purifying from sin." 6. Tithes and offerings to the sanctuary of Yahweh. The priest must set the value of a person dedicated to Yahweh. Leviticus 27/2. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, "When a man concentrates a special vow, certain persons to Yahweh, by giving equivalent values, if anyone making the vow is too poor to pay the specified amount, he is to present the person to the priest, who will set the value for him according to what the man making the vow can afford. Every value is to be set according to the sanctuary shekel, 20 grays to the shekel, about 1/50 of an ounce of silver to each ger. 115. The priest must set the value of an animal dedicated to Yahweh. Leviticus 27/11. What if he vowed is an unclean animal, one that is not acceptable to be as an offering to Yahweh? The animal must be presented to the priest, who is the judge. Its quality is worthy or bad. Whatever value the priest sets, then that is what it must be. That is what it will be. If the owner desires at all to redeem it, he must add 1/5 to the priest's evaluation. If it is an unclean animal, then he may redeem it according to the valuation of the priest, and shall add 1/5 of his value to it. If it is not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to the priest's valuation. Number 116. The priest must set the value of a house dedicated to Yahweh. Leviticus 27/14. If a man dedicates his house as something holy to Yahweh, the priest will judge its value for it. So shall it remain. If the man who dedicates his house redeems it, he must add 1/5 more to its valuation, and the house will again become his. 117. The priest must set the value of a field dedicated to Yahweh. Leviticus 27/16. If a man dedicates to Yahweh part of his inherited family land, its value is to be set according to the amount of seed needed to plant it. A homer of barley seed, probably about 6 bushels, shall be valued at 50 shekels of silver, about 1 pounds of silver. If a man dedicates to Yahweh a field he has brought, which is not part of his inherited family land, then the priest will determine its value up to the year of Jubilee. and a man must pay the priest's valuation on that day as a holy offering to Yahweh. 130. The third tithe, the third tenth, must be set aside for the poor, and in the 3rd and 6th years of the 7-year cycle for the poor to come to the feast. Deuteronomy 14/28. Toward the end of every 3rd year, you shall bring forth all of your income designated that year, the third tithe, and store it within your gates, house of Yahweh. 131. Tithes and offerings must be presented to Yahweh with prayer. Deuteronomy 26/13. Then you shall vow in front of Yahweh your Father, I have removed this holy portion, the first tithe from my house, also have given the third tithe for the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, the widow, according to all your laws which you have commanded me. I have not transgressed your laws, nor have I forgotten them. 132. Each household is to bring or send their tithes and offerings before Yahweh to the sanctuary of Yahweh. No Christian collection plate. Deuteronomy 26/2. You must take some of the first of all the fruit of the earth, which you shall bring from the land of Yahweh your Father has given you, and you must put it in a basket, and go to the place Yahweh your Father will choose to establish his name, and say to the one who is priest in those days, I declare unto Yahweh my Father this day, that I have come to the country which Yahweh vowed an oath to our forefathers to give us. Then the priest shall take the basket out of your hand, and set it down in front of the altar of Yahweh your Father. And now, behold, I have brought the first fruits of the land, which you, O Yahweh, have given me. Then you shall set it before Yahweh your Father, and worship before Yahweh your Father. 133. The first portion of the grain offering must be given to the priests at the sanctuary of Yahweh. Numbers 15/20. Present a cake, chelaha, from the first of your ground meal, and present it as an offering from the threshing floor. Throughout your generations you shall give this offering to Yahweh from the first of your ground meal. 7. The sabbatical year. 134. Every 7th year is a Sabbath of rest for the land. Leviticus 25/2. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when you come unto the land which I give you, the land I shall keep a Sabbath unto Yahweh. 6 years you shall sow your field, and 6 years you shall prune your vineyard, and gather in its fruit. But in the 7th year there shall be a Sabbath of solemn rest for the land, a Sabbath to Yahweh. You shall neither sow your field nor prune your vineyard. What grows voluntarily of your harvest you shall not reap, nor gather the grapes of your untended vine. The land is to have a year of rest. 135. Whatever the land years in the Sabbath year will be for food. Exodus 23/10. 6 years shall you sow your land and gather in its produce, but the 7th year you shall let it rest and lie fallow, so that the poor among your people may get food from it, and the wild animals may eat what is left. Do the same with your vineyard and your olive grove. 136. You must concentrate and proclaim the Jubilee year. Leviticus 25/10. Concentrate the 15th year, and proclaim liberty throughout the land to all its inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee for you, and each of you shall return to his possession, and each of you shall return to his family. That 15th year shall be a jubilee to you. In it you shall neither sow nor reap what grows voluntarily, nor gather the grapes from your untended vines. For it is the jubilee; it shall be holy to you. You shall eat its produce from the field. 137. On the day of atonement in the jubilee year, the trumpet must be sounded, and Hebrew slaves set free. Leviticus 25/9. Then you have the trumpet of the jubilee sounded everywhere on the 10th day of the 7th moon, on the day of atonement, and sound the trumpet throughout your land. Concentrate the 15th year, and proclaim liberty throughout the land to all its inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee for you. In this year of jubilee, each of you shall return to his possession. In 138. In the jubilee year, all the land is to be returned to its appointed owners. Leviticus 25/23. The land must not be sold permanently, because the land is mine, and you are but strangers and my tenants. Throughout the country that you hold as a possession, you must provide for the redemption of the land. But if he is not able to restore it to himself, then what was sold shall remain in the hand of him who brought it until the year of Jubilee. Then in the Jubilee it shall be released, and he shall return to his possession. 139. In a walled city, the seller has a right to buy back a house within a year of the sale. Leviticus 25/29. If a man sells a house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold. Within a full year he may redeem it. But if it is not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house in the walled city shall permanently belong to him who bought it throughout his generations. It shall not be released in the Jubilee. 140. The years until the Jubilee must be counted. Leviticus 25/8. And you shall count 7 Sabbaths for years for yourself, 7 times 7 years, and the time of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be to you 49 years. 141. The 7th year is a year of release. Deuteronomy 15/1. At the end of 7 years you shall grant a release. This is the form of the release. Every creditor who has lent to his brother shall cancel the loan he has made. He shall not press his brother for payment, for release has been proclaimed in honor of Yahweh. Yahweh's release. From a foreigner you may press for payment, but you shall release what is owed from your brother. 142. In the 7th year a foreigner may be pressed for payment of debt. Deuteronomy 15/3. From a foreigner you may press for payment, but you shall release what is owed from your brother. 8. Clean animals fit for consumption and offerings. 143. The priests must receive their share of all clean animals that are slaughtered for sacrifice. Deuteronomy 18/3. This shall be the priest's share from the people who kill a bull or sheep, the shoulder, the cheeks, and the inner parts. 144. The priest must receive the first fleece from the shearing of sheep. Deuteronomy 18/4. You are to give them the first fruits of your grain, new wine, oil, and the first fleece from the shearing of your sheep. 145. Anything devoted to Yahweh becomes most holy to Yahweh and becomes property of the sanctuary of Yahweh and the priests. Leviticus 27/28. But nothing a man may own, then devote as a holy offering to Yahweh, whether man, animal, or family land, may be sold or redeemed. Everything so devoted is most holy to Yahweh. 146. To be fit for consumption, clean animals must be slaughtered. Do not eat what dies or itself or is killed by wild beasts. Deuteronomy 12/21. If the place where Yahweh your father chooses to put his name is too far from you, then you may slaughter from your herd or from your flock Yahweh has given you, just as I commanded you. And in your own cities you may eat as much of them as you want. 147. The blood of slaughtered clean animals must be poured on the ground and covered with earth. Note, in order to ensure the removal of blood from the clean meat, it must be 1. Kosher killed, 2. Soaked in salt water, or 3. Roasted over an open fire in a way that allows all the blood to drain off the meat. In any event, the meat must be fully cooked. Leviticus 17/13. Whenever a man, the children of Israel, or their strangers, or who sojourn among you, who hunts and catches any animal or bird that may be eaten, he shall pour out his blood, and I cover it with dust. 148. Set the mother bird free when taking the nest or the young. Deuteronomy 22/6. If you come across a bird's nest beside the way, either in a tree or on the ground, and the mother is sitting on the young or on the eggs, do not take the mother with the young. Be sure to let the mother go, and take the young for yourself, that it may go well with you and you may have a long life. 149. Examine the meat of animals to make sure it's permitted for consumption. Leviticus 11/2. Speak to the children of Israel, saying, these are the animals you may eat among with all the beasts upon the land. You may eat any animal that has a split hoof, completely divided, and which chews the cud. These you may eat. And 150. Examine fowl to make sure they are permitted for consumption. Deuteronomy 14/11. All clean birds you may eat. Alright, I'm going to leave it off here, and I'll make another part to this. And like, share, subscribe. And once again, I'll leave a link to the description box below if you want for email. You can email us at themuns@gmail.com for private consultation. I'll see you guys next video. Have a nice day.